My name is Fonda Bryant. I am a mental health and suicide prevention advocate, and I'm also the founder of Wellness Action Recovery. 28 years ago, I was working as a pharmacist tech at Carolina's Medical Center, and I had no idea I was struggling with depression. I was extremely tired. Not regular tired, debilitating tired. I was not eating. I would go 3 or 4 days without eating and not think anything of it, and people started noticing. My personality changed. I went from talkative and outgoing to withdrawing, so all of those signs started really creeping in, and people really started noticing. Thank goodness they did. One day I was at work, and my assistant director came up to me and she said, "Fonda, we're going to get you some help." And I'm like, "Help? What are you talking about?" She said, "I'm going to send you across the street to the Employee Assistance Program, the EAP, which is a wonderful, wonderful tool." And the counselor asked me, he said, "Fonda," he said, "what do you do? What's your schedule like?" And I said, "Well, I work full time, I go to school part time, and I got a 12-year-old son." And he said, "You're burning a candle at both ends. We got to get you some help." And I'm like, "Help?" And he said, "We're going to send you to a psychiatric hospital to get help." And my eyes got about that big around, because my mom used to tell me, black people, we don't have mental health issues. That's a white thing. We have a lot of discrimination in this country, but one thing that does not discriminate is mental health. It treats us the same. Doesn't care if you're an NBA player, NFL player, beauty queen, does not care if you're a CEO, does not care if you're a student. Mental health treats us the same. I went in the psychiatric hospital and my anxiety went through the roof. And when I got in there, they didn't really do anything. We just had a conversation and they let me go. I didn't tell a soul. I didn't tell anybody in my family. I was ashamed because of the stigma around mental health. One day I picked up my son from school, and we had a car. It needed work on it bad. It was an old Cutlass, it was rusty, it was in really bad shape. So when I picked Wesley up from school, I noticed him going down in the seat. And I'm like, "What's going on with my son?" And I realized he was ashamed of the car I was driving. And see, those thoughts started already saying, "You're not a good mother. Your son would be better off with someone else. You are a loser. Kill yourself." And those thoughts started getting louder and louder. I don't know how many days it was after that, but Valentine's Day, 1995, a day of love, cards, flowers, I was contemplating taking my own life. I was in tremendous pain. It was excruciating. It was like a bear was squeezing the life out of me. And in my heart, I knew I was a good mom, but my brain, the most powerful organ in my body, our bodies, was telling me, "You're a loser, kill yourself, nobody's gonna care." I had a plan. And I never really talk about the plan, but before I implemented that plan, I reached out to a hero. Somebody needed to know what was going on with me. So I called my Aunt Spanky. And I don't remember a lot about the conversation, but I remember telling her this: "You can have my shoes." That's all I remember telling her. And thank God my Aunt Spanky took the sign seriously. She called me back. She said, "Are you going to kill yourself?" And I said, "Yes." And she went into action like a superhero. And I go to the door, and there's this humongous CMPD police officer. And he said, "Are you Fonda Bryant?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "I came to take you to a mental health facility." I said, "No, you did not." And he's like, "You're going with me?" I said, "No, I'm not. You can't make me go." And if it hadn't been for my son, Wes, he was 12 at the time, he said, "Mom, please calm down. You need help." Police officer took me down the stairs real aggressively, took me outside, and there was Aunt Spanky. And boy, I don't curse either, but when I saw her, I was yelling at her, I was screaming at her, I told her how much I hated her. It took me years to realize what a hero she really was. And that's why I always tell people, you got two choices when we're suicidal. You can help us, and yeah, we might get mad at you, might not ever speak to you again, but we're alive. Or you can do nothing, and you can risk going to a funeral and living with the why pain. They took me all the way out to Pineville, people looking at me in the car, and then we get out there to Cedar Springs. And when I went into group therapy, that was my first time ever being in any kind of psychiatric kind of session. And so when I went in there, my therapist asked me, she said, "Fonda, who do you put first?" I thought that was the strangest question, because I'm like, My son, he's 12. She said, wrong answer. She said, what do they tell you when you get on a plane? To put the bag on your face first so you can help somebody else. That's self-care. But see, in the Black culture, it goes God, family, and we fall down that ladder. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody. And on February 14th, 1995, I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help my son. I couldn't help anyone. But it still took me years to get to learn to know self-care and to be able to implement it. So that was my time. I spent a whole week out there. Then I came into my apartment and my son was there. I walked right by him, went in my bedroom and shut the door. But he came in right behind me and he said, Mom, you can help people. I know you can. And that was truly an aha moment. And from there, I went on to become even a better advocate, because when you get educated and learn things, that's when you can truly get out here and help others. So I've been an advocate for over 20-something years, and I'm grateful to be here, and I love what I do. I'm Fonda Bryant, and it's time to make an impact and talk about suicide prevention.